Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Crypt Keeper. How are you two doing today?
We're doing good. You sound great.
I'm sounding a little bit better than after my COVID time. Let's hear the test, Christine. How are you sounding?
I'm okay.
uh, do you feel like you still got all the nasal drainage and everything you were fighting yesterday?
So I'm not as stuffy as yesterday, but still a little bit.
Yeah, I can hear it a little bit in you, but you're right. It doesn't sound quite as bad as yesterday. But that's okay. Yesterday, you were able to do a lot of moderation, and we had a good talk in here yesterday. I really enjoyed everybody's contributions yesterday. It worked out well.
So last night, last night I wound up getting my buddies from the Ravens to jump in on the nudie community. The space was basically for them, so they could like voice their opinion on how they feel about the space and how they feel about minting their first project. It was pretty dope, like super dope, and they're basically like aping in on the nudie community project. So it's gonna be
So,
big.
did these Ravens guys? I know you dealt with some of them through other business ventures and whatnot, but did they approach you for NFT guidance, or how did they even get involved?
I came to them, and what's crazy is they didn't know shit about this space, bro. Like nothing at all. Yo, bro, it's crazy how they really like are oblivious to NFTs and Web3 and metaverse. It's like
Yeah.
they heard about it, but didn't know anything about it.
It's amazing. We get in here in our spaces and we talk to each other, and after a while, I think we get the false idea that like a lot of people know about this and a lot of young people know about this. But I mean, these guys are on NFL teams. They're around young people all the time. They've heard about it, like you said, but they don't know about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So my buddy is actually brothers with one of the players, so that's how I'm linked in with them. And like we had him on the space, and he was basically telling us how his brother was like twisting his arm to get into this NFT space, and which is my best friend, and he was telling his brother, yo, you should get one of these board apes when the apes was like 20,000, and he was like, nah, man, I don't want to deal with that. Like I'm not spending $20,000 on a monkey. Like what am I doing? So fast forward to now, he's like kicking himself in the ass, like, damn, bro, like I should have listened, but it's never too early, like he said either. But it was like, damn.
Yeah, and I can understand a little bit. Like these guys get in the league, and I'm sure you've heard all these bad stories of these people that get in the league and then have $1 million plus contract and then just blow the millions away. So right when they get in the league, they have these little workshops of like basically, you're rich now. How do you stay rich? And they basically tell them you're going to have a lot of people with a lot of offers, and all of them are going to be junk, or most of them are going to be junk. And I'm sure whenever you hear like, hey, buy this picture of this ape that looks really bored, it's only going to cost you $20,000. And I can get why after hearing all of that about how everybody's trying to take advantage of you, they think, oh, this is what they told me about.
Yeah, definitely. So basically we was just breaking it down to him, and my buddy is he lives in North Carolina, and his brother plays for the Ravens, so they're not that close in like distance wise. So he had went to their last game the other day, and he was in the locker room like telling these guys like, bro, this is what you got to do. You got to do this. You got to do that, like step by step. And these guys are like like dumbfounded, like, bro, like why didn't I not know about this? And I get it. When you're in the league, all you eat,
No,
sleep, and shit is sports. It's football. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you on board these people, bro, the appreciation that they give you is like insane. It's like when they first learn how to read all over again. It's crazy.
so maybe like I see Tim Cook's up here. He can probably tell us. Tim, do you feel like you have more time to like actually digest what NFTs are and cryptos are now that you're out, rather than whenever you're in? Is it just eat, sleep, football, and you just can't think about other things like that?
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I have a little bit more time now to do research and get in these spaces and stuff because during the season it's more football. Get up in the morning, like you said, everything is more busy.
Tim, I actually sent you the link last night, but you probably don't follow me, so you probably didn't see it. So we had CoCap Levine in the space, and it was just amazing, bro. Like the appreciation he had towards the community was insane, bro. Like it was so dope. Like for him to be so excited about this space that we're in, and you know what I'm saying, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And seeing it take off and still knowing it's in its infancy stages is what's amazing.
I know. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Um, in my personal life, what I definitely try to push is, if I do know a photographer, a graphic designer, person that draws, person that does music, I make sure I be like, yo, you need to do NFTs, or I say, yo, you need to make an NFT out of that, or and then that conversation starts around, oh well, what's an NFT, and then I show them, because it's a lot of talented people we probably all know in our own personal lives that they know nothing about this space at all. So until it's presented to them where they can say, oh, okay, oh, I can make something out of this. I already do this. All I just have to do is mint it. Like, that's really what a lot of these people, all they really have to do is just mint the amazing work they already do to get into the NFT space. And so that's something I personally do to try to advance the, NFT space as a whole. Just people who are already talented, we already know, just have them mint their work.
That's what I'm trying to get more of my athlete friends that are still on teams right now to understand that they can use their talents and stuff and mint NFTs. I was looking at in the music industry, like Meek Mill. Meek Mill is, I think he's uploading his next album, or he's making people. What did he say?
He said he trying
His
to put his
next
next album
album
on
is
the
going to
block.
be on the. You said what now, Matt?
He trying to put his next album on the blockchain.
Exactly. Like, that's crazy. That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, so he ain't know nothing about. I feel like we all can definitely do that. We all know somebody who does something when it comes to creative work that you can say, yo, you're an amazing photographer. There's a guy who's selling his photography for like 420 ETH. When I see drifters, I'm like, this guy is just taking pictures. Like, he take pictures on skyscrapers and stuff, but it's a lot of people who just really like amazing photography work. They just all have to just mint their work to really get it out there and push the space forward as a whole.
Hey, Matt, sorry about that, Keeper. What's your hit rate whenever you're talking to people and you're saying, hey, you're an artist, you're a photographer? How many of them out of 100 that you tell actually turn around and make an NFT project or take your advice?
Like 70. I want to get that number close to 100, but a 70 look into it. Like, so they go from a space of not knowing about it at all to actually even looking into it, and then your 30, they'll probably will talk about it and then they'll just go back to doing what they do. But 70 for sure, like, go and actually look at it and then hit me up like a week or two later and then want to know like more detailed information about how to set up a wallet, how to do this, how to do that. But yeah, hit rate 70 for sure, because
I think that's
a lot
pretty
of them are. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I just said I think that's pretty good. 70%.
Yeah, 7 for sure. Like, this one dude, he does animation work in Canada. My friend moved to Canada, and they work at the same animation studio. So he put up a animation on LinkedIn. So he's real big on LinkedIn. Where he puts up, so he put up his latest animation work on LinkedIn. So everybody's commenting the animation he put up had like 7,000 likes, and I'm like, so everybody's saying, oh, this is cute, this is amazing, da da da. And then my one comment, yo, bro, you need to make this an NFT, like, and then he put LOL, and then he'll say, I'll DM you. But I'm like, yo, you need to make this an NFT. Like, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, it's just not enough now to just put art out just for the sake of putting out art. Like, you can literally make yourself a business.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, the company that I'm starting is called Influence You, with me and my buddy, and it's gonna be basically we're gonna just like basically influence like athletes that don't really know much about the space, and it's just gonna bring more knowledge to them and to the communities that we're involving them with. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's gonna be a good thing, because a lot of these athletes, they don't have the time they don't have the time for it. You know what I'm saying? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in and basically like teach them in a faster pace and help them understand in our language rather than a Web3 language. You know what I'm saying? So where it's easier for them to understand and grasp.
Hey, Keeper, I know you're doing it with, the Ravens and NFL teams right now, but have you given any thought, now that you can do name, image, and likeness in NCAA sports, have you thought about, creeping into to that side of things too? Because they, have names and popular names just the same. And finally now they can be reimbursed for it. Have you looked into that?
No, I haven't, but like I wanna do every sport, honestly, because I feel like every sport is basically the same with their time and what they do not have, and the little bit of spare time that they do have, it can basically be utilized as a tool to gain knowledge with something that they might be interested in, but they don't have the time to be interested in. Like, I know basketball players, I know I know a lot of people that, you know what I'm saying, that don't have the time, but they are interested in it. So like I was saying, like I can basically break it down in a language that they could understand, and it could be more it could just be more understanding on how I could break it down versus a developer breaking it down where the language is totally different.
Man, I just the only reason I bring up college is, I think we all think in terms of, majors, Alabama, Georgia, these type of football teams, or, Duke, North Carolina, those type of basketball teams. But there's so many college, uh, mid-tier. Steph Curry played for a school named Davidson. Who ever heard of Davidson, right? And imagine if he would have had an NFT project while he was in Davidson and no one ever heard about it, but then you actually owned that now. These guys can monetize their names regardless of what level they're playing at, and they do need somebody like you to be able to educate them and put them into kind of a frame of mind to understand it and put it in the right words and things like that to be able to understand it. I don't know. You might have some good content creation at some point too to put out a channel or something.
Yeah, man. Like we got a lot of me and him got a lot of stuff in the works. It's just me and him doing it. Like we just woke up one day and was like, we know all these people. Why not use this to our advantage? And it's not even, bro, we're not even asking for money. That's the crazy thing. We're just doing this off the strength of us trying to give them knowledge. Like we're not asking them for money. We're not making them sign contracts. We're not doing this for anything like that. It's just to bring awareness to this community so that it helps all of us, and it helps these projects that need the, you know what I mean, like the support behind them, so that's what we're doing it for. Like it has nothing to do with money at this point. Like it's just to bring awareness to what we got going on in the space.
Well, that's going to get your foot in the door, I think, a lot. Because, like I said, I think there's an air of distrust probably for the professional athlete, as everybody's got their hand out and wanting a little bit of what you just got. And the fact that you're not asking for money, I probably think helps a lot. So you can see the link I put up in the nest up top. It's from CoinDesk. There's a fan-controlled football league. Okay. And there's a $40 million investment that just happened, occurred. And the league is doubling in its size in its second season for this fan-controlled football league, with leaders of here's the NFT tie-in, leaders of the Bored Ape Yacht Club are managing a new team. So now you've got such heavy hitters that you've got the Bored Ape Yacht Club are actually running a football team. Now, it's not an NFL team, okay? Maybe that'll come someday. But it is, I don't even know what the name of this team is, but it's in the fan-controlled league. And the idea, I think, is all things are voted on like real-time decisions for their team, including play calling and roster management. So I'm a sports fan. I don't talk about being a sports fan too often on here because, it's financial NFT talk, but I love sports. And sometimes, if you've ever watched any type of football, everybody thinks, I'm sure Tim knows this, everybody thinks that they know better, right? And I'm no different. And now we can find out, fan-controlled football, we can find out who actually can call better plays.
Bro, so hold up.
That would be good.
The fans are calling these plays as the game is just going?
Let me just read the first two paragraphs here of the
Hold on.
articles up top. It says the fan-controlled football league is gearing up for its second season after closing a $40 million Series A led by Animoca Brands and Delphi Digital, the league announced Wednesday. The fan-controlled football league is an alternative professional sports league where fans vote on real-time decisions for their team, including play calling and roster management. How would you like that, Tim, if they're like, I'm sorry, we cut you. And you're like, what? I don't want to be cut. And they said, well, yeah, the fans voted.
That would be crazy, actually.
Bro, like, imagine in the second half you get cut. Like, what?
Trader,
Right.
there was a conversation that typically comes up about, does everything need to be decentralized? Like,
Right.
I would find it annoying that people like a freaking 17-year-old guy is calling plays for a professional league, and we have professional head coaches who've done this for like 25 years. They know the ins and outs of football, and the play calling is coming down to some 38-year-old guy mowing his lawn. You know what I'm saying? Who just started watching football. So, I don't know. It's just a weird space that we're moving into, like where I feel like everything feels like they need to be decentralized, and everything doesn't need to be decentralized. Everything does not need a vote. Like,
yeah, but imagine this league where you have one team that says, we're going to hire Bill Belichick, right? We're not going to do the play calls for ours. And then the other team says, we think we know better. We're going to do it to a fan vote. And then you get to kind of, your whole scenario that you just said kind of plays out in front of you. And, obviously I think Belichick wins that matchup against the janitor and the electrician that has voting.
bro. It's like basically playing Madden in management mode. Like,
I kind of
I
like that
made
though. I
terrible
like it.
decisions in management mode with Madden. Like that's what I'm talking about.
I like it and dislike it. It's like a good idea, but at the same time, for the players, it's like, but overall concept, it's a pretty cool concept. Like you said, it's like a management mode. Can I be a better coach than Bill Belichick? And I bet people will bet money to see if they can coach or win against Bill Belichick.
that's gonna I don't it sounds fun. It sounds real fun. Like I would love to be involved in it, like play calling. Like it's fourth and goal and you can score a field goal. Nah, we're gonna go for it. Don't worry about it.
Naked bootleg is every time.
Yeah, like
Works every time. No. And then how deep would it go? Like, okay, it's true roster management, true play calling, but what about whether they're serving hot dogs or hamburgers in the concession stand? Do I get a say in that? Because this is a business, right? And if it's a DAO, and just like Matt said, everything needs to be decent, or people think everything needs to be decentralized. To what level do I get a choice? Are we wearing alternate unis this weekend? Well, we need to put it to a vote. Are we? What are we selling at the concession stand? That's going to have to be a vote. How much are tickets to the game? That's going to have to go to a vote. What dances are the cheerleaders doing?
Yo, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Sometimes, like where I get, you get the proxies. Sometimes, if you're involved in any investment, stock companies, whatever, you get these proxies, and then they'll say, we're voting on the board of directors, or we're voting on if Tesla is going to have I don't know, their cars red this month. I don't know. But some proxies I get in my email, I don't care. Hey guys, I trust you to do what's right, and that's it. I don't want to vote for everything. Like I don't care enough. You know what I mean? Like some decisions I feel like can be better made by the company. So I don't involve myself in every proxy that comes to my email. Like it's for what? I just trust that the company knows what the fuck they're doing. So that's why I'm invested in that company.
But
yeah, it gets crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a good mindset for it. So I've been, in a former life, I was director of operations for a company, and it was publicly traded, and we would have open calls, and if you owned stock in the company, you could get in on this call and speak, no matter how much you owned, and we would have people, calling in, and they would have $1,000 worth of stock in a multi-million-dollar company, and they'd get time to be able to talk in this meeting. And it was crazy how, just everybody thinks that they know how to run a business. Whenever you're right, that's not always necessary. Everything doesn't have to go to a vote. Sometimes you vote to put a leader into place to make decisions for you. Okay. I couldn't have done it better than, not Tim Cook, Steve Jobs. I couldn't have ran Apple better than that, but they put a good person in place to do it.
Can you imagine the guy that has $100, right? And I get it why they just want to make people feel inclusive, but can you imagine the guy, right? He has $100 in stock of a multi-million-dollar company, and he's over there yelling on the conference call, like, "Well, you guys, 2 hours this guy is talking." Like that's a waste of time.
It's too much. Well, everybody, we can watch this thing play out, because last year the league's first season, it streamed its games exclusively on Twitch, but this second season, get ready, because it's going to be broadcast on NBC and Peacock to expand its audience. So you can. There's our celebrity team owners. Looks like Marshawn Lynch is one of the celebrity team owners. So yeah, get your popcorn ready, because it'll be a show for sure. You guys gonna watch it?
I'll watch it. I think the challenge is the NFL. Through no fault of their own, they have a monopoly on football. You remember when Vince McMahon tried to put out the XFL?
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
And then I think that there was a AFL. Like these alternative football leagues, they're fun to look at. Maybe in the off season, but the NFL has a real monopoly on football. Like it's real. Like they have a real monopoly on football. So it's going to be a challenge for these other alternative leagues to thrive.
Well, also with football, and I don't want to turn this into a sports conversation, though that's a dream of mine. Is that football, whenever it's bad, it's just not pleasing to the eye, right? It's bad football is hard to watch, and all of a sudden, now you're going to leagues that aren't as talented, that aren't as well coached, and now all of a sudden you've got, like you said, the 17-year-old that holds a few DAO tokens for this team that's calling the plays. It might not be the most visually pleasing. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it would be fun to see, 4th and 38 from your own 10, and it's time to do the fake punt offense or something like that. Maybe there is some kind of entertainment value to it. But I think, as you said, the NFL is just a behemoth in the space, and that's not changing. And I think all the other leagues have proven no one's trying to unseat the NFL here. But I think through the miracle of DeFi, there can be an alternative league that maybe has a little different something to offer than what the NFL does.
Yeah, for sure. I even there's even talks about like when AR and the metaverse and all that stuff gets integrated, where people can watch NFL games and know like which player is what through like the lenses. Like they can, I could definitely see like people sitting at an NFL game with it's on, and like seeing which player and how far they have to go and which number and if they're fatigued or not. Like that I could totally see happening in the future.
So you're talking like an AR, almost like Madden or something, where you're seeing
Yeah,
like,
like a real AR experience. If I could see them introducing.
oh, for sure. And that could be even done sooner. I mean, I've watched an NBA game from my Oculus before, and I've sat front row at an NBA game, or at least through an Oculus, and it'd be easy to just watch that and have those overlays on the player. You see Luca on here. Sorry about that fake to bring up Luca to you after last week, but you see Luca, and you can see maybe his stats. You can see maybe how many minutes he's played, just like you said, whether they're fatigued or not, just out of minutes played, things like that. Yeah, all of that would be possible. And to me, that enhances the fan experience. Now, that's not necessarily DeFi, but it is metaverse.
Your interest in, or your awareness of the people who follow you and what they're interested in is second to none. Second to none.
You just you tweet fake about a lot of things that I'm interested
I am
in.
rather
So
emphatic about my Bulls. That's for sure.
Look, okay, here's the thing about the Bulls. Know about me is I grew up watching WGN, and obviously, if you grow up in the era that I did watching WGN, that you're a Jordan fan, and so I'm a Jordan's the GOAT guy. Fight me. I know you won't, but somebody else might. And yeah, I love the Bulls. If you want to talk about Bulls,
guess who was in a space with us yesterday morning on Crypto and Coffee with Tej and Alex Zamora and a bunch of these other guys.
Who?
Stacey King. I have screenshots.
Stacey King. He came from UNLV. Yeah, it's plastic.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, this guy won 3 championships with Michael Jordan in 91 through 93. Dude, I like stopped the room. I was like in awe. I mean, he's on, that he calls the games, like he's an announcer.
Yeah.
But he dropped in, and I looked down there. It said Stacey, whatever, and I clicked on the avatar because it didn't look like him. He was wearing like a hood and a face mask. He looked like a Mortal Kombat character. And then I saw his blue check mark and his credentials. I was like, hey, guys, real quick, there's somebody down here that you guys need to know about. Really, I just wanted to call him out and like say that I was a fan, and it was awesome. It was crazy.
I can remember he used to have a Bill Cartwright impersonation too, and that was all fun. But anyway, yeah. So I'm a Bulls fan from the '90s, but of course I live near Dallas, so yeah, I'm a big Luka fan as well. So anyway, yeah. So I do look at what my followers like on my Voice of DeFi.
It's appreciated, yeah.
Did anybody know who he was when he was in the room?
Good question.
Did anybody know who Stacey King was?
Yeah, or like, did you have to like, hey guys, this Stacey King is here?
Yeah, I had to tell everybody because like there was a couple other people in there with check marks. There was some like Fox like weather like woman that had like, she was verified with like 2,000 followers. There's a lot of people with verified check marks, so they kind of just like glaze over it. They just try not to like think about it. But I was just on there as a speaker, so I'm tapping around. Everyone's already talking, so I'm just like looking at people, and I come across Stacey King. I was like, no way! Like, it just didn't seem like the kind of like room in the crowd at all that he would be in.
You never know. Like on spaces, sometimes like you really never know who drops in, and I think Tradeverse for having these alpha talks in regular spaces around NFTs and crypto. I remember one space I was in, Anthony Noto dropped in. And then, like, whoever doesn't know that, this guy co-founded Twitter. And then, out of nowhere, he was just, and I was like, I clicked on this picture, and it was him. I'm like, hold on, guys. I said, Anthony Noto here is guys. And they were like, oh, who's that? Like,
did he run?
Yeah.
A lot of times they run. It's like throwing the wrong ball to the wrong Pokemon. You say their name and point them out, and they're gone.
Yeah, he did leave actually.
Yeah, Stacey left after like a minute of me talking about him too. One time I was in this space, and this football player named Tim Cook came in.
Oh wow! Now that I can't even imagine what that would be like.
Yeah, would a real Tim please stand up?
Christine's been in she's been in a space before, haven't you, where Elon was in for like 3 seconds and people got a screenshot?
Yeah, he was in there for, I think it was a few minutes, and then everyone got mad at me because I was like, oh my god, Elon is here, he's down there, look, it's him. And then people started messaging me like on the panel, like, be quiet, he's gonna leave. And then
they always run. Yeah, I wouldn't, if someone pointed me out, I wouldn't run. I would just embrace it and have fun with it.
I would actually come up and be like, hey guys, what's going on, and then bounce back down.
Mark Cuban was next to us too, right, Christine? One
Oh
time.
yeah. No, we screenshotted that. We're like,
Yeah,
she's
we
hanging
did.
out with Mark Cuban.
How long did he stay?
He was there for a second.
So what these dudes just pop in just to be like a little nosy and then pop back out?
Well, I think they wish they could do like incognito mode or something and just
I mean,
pop.
they can if they get on a burner. I mean, it's not that hard to be like inconspicuous if you're a celebrity. But I think a lot of the people that drop into these things and like we like are shocked to see them. I think they're all just curious about spaces. They all have Twitter, but then they see that there's this like top bar where there's people talking and chatting it up, and they don't know what it is, so they hop in, and then they get seen, and they're like, oh shit, like okay, that's what this is, and then they leave.
You know what it is too, Fake?
Yeah.
Our brains are like machines that we just invent shit on the fly, and they want in on that. Like I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I'm saying. Like
It's
I mean,
something
it's a fun thing to be a part of.
when it comes to some I have a lot of people really don't care about, but you just kind of like it's a knee jerk reaction to.
getting rugged, man.
Yeah, Matt, your connection's getting rugged all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. It's funny, we can just hear another and say, oh.
He's getting rugged.
Right.
But I feel like these guys, they want to hear us talk because we're average people, regular people, and our brains are just different. We're hungry, you know what I'm saying? So I guess that's what they probably appreciate, and I think.
Yeah, maybe.
I think these things just foster a chat in which you want to kind of take part in, but sometimes even listen to. It's like just a bunch of friends at the bar. It's not like a conference where it's some, thought leader that's sitting there telling you about NFTs or telling you about, finance or anything like that. Instead, it's just like what we're doing here about talking. And next thing you know, we're talking about, Mark Cuban was in the space and, all these different sort of things. It just makes it to more real, where I think people do just want to hop in, listen, and maybe even get out.
Well, and this is such a tremendous step up, like the social staircase, right? Because when Twitter first came out, like one of the big like alluring points to it was, hey, like there's this new like social media platform where it's all just text and you're just reading people's like tweets in real time and endless flow, whatever. And there's a lot of celebrities on there, and there's a chance that they'll comment to you because it's brand new. This was in like 2009 or whatever. And now it's like, no. Now you can actually now there's a chance you could actually talk to them because there's this Spaces feature now. And that's happened, so it's a big deal.
And then when you got cool people like Christine, Tim, and Devin on board, it's like a no-brainer, bro. Like we got to be talking about something in of essence that they're sticking around.
Otherwise, Christine would just be out of here, right?
Yeah, it'd be like Houdini, poof.
Right. No, it is good, and I think it does kind of change. You make it to where like a Cuban or a Elon can hop in one of these things, and at the same time, one of like Twitter's stars, Twitter's influence, somebody like a Christine can be in there, and it puts them on equal footing. Jay-Z had his space. What was it?
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was
What was
amazing.
he talking about?
They were talking about they did like a thing with Alicia Keys for her new album.
Yeah, her album dropped. They did. She actually had Jay-Z up there and a whole bunch of other people. That shit was super dope. Like
it was awesome.
Crazy. It was dope.
But there were so many producers in there.
Oh yeah. Did y'all feel like you knew? I felt like I knew Jay a little better after that. I mean, I've heard interviews and everything, but it just seemed more intimate and more of a conversation.
It felt like you were sitting across from like a dinner table and just like eavesdropping on two people
listening
talking.
in.
Yeah, it was really cool.
For me, what it was like
it's like a fly on the wall.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
For me, what it was like he was just being himself. It wasn't like political. It wasn't him talking to somebody in a room. Like it was just like you said, intimate, and he was just being himself, which was cool.
Yeah, I appreciated it, and it made it to where you feel like you know him a little bit better. I've been in, not Jay-Z, but I've been in other, what you'd call minor celebrities, authors and things like that spaces. And then I actually get to speak with them. And I remember like getting off the call and talking to people in real life saying, oh yeah, I talked to whoever, and I would introduce them as my good friend, whoever, some like moderate celebrity. And they'd be like, oh, you really talked to them? I was like, yeah, had a few questions with them. And these things make the world smaller, right? Which is a good thing. We want that to be to where, we're borderless and, just access to everybody is always there. That could be a burden too, I'm sure, if you're a celebrity.
I don't know, man, but I remember the first time I sat down and had dinner with Floyd Mayweather. That shit was crazy. Like, he's a really regular dude. Like, different than what we just see on social media. Sitting down with him is just jokes and laughs, and it's just fun. Like, it was crazy. It was an experience, and it was like a fucking whole night experience. It started from the Knicks game to dinner, then to a strip club, and it was just insane, bro. Like, it was insane. Like, the love that he shows his people. Like, it's like, I'm trying to buy myself a drink, and he's like, "Yo, bro, I don't need you to buy yourself anything. I got you. I brought you here, so I'm gonna take care of you while you're with me in my presence." I'm like, "All right, bro, like, whatever."
And you didn't say, like, are you sure you can afford it? You sure you're good?
Bro, this man is different. This man is, bro. He's the conversations we had is just insane, bro. Like, it's funny.
Anytime I've ever met a celebrity like that, or just somebody that I've kind of put up on a pedestal and then I meet them, it just always reminds me that, like, man, we are definitely just all human. We are all just people, and some people seem to get some fame and some people don't, and whatever. But anytime I do, I'm like, man, it's not that it takes them off of their pedestal. They just become more real to me, and maybe I worship them less, if that makes any sense. Not because they did anything wrong. It's just because you see them as like, oh, okay, it's just a girl, it's just a dude. It's nothing. Nobody that has more powers or anything than I do, except they can shoot a basketball or throw a football better, something like that.
You know what it is
Yeah.
too, and it's what's crazy about it is the little shit that they like need from you. It's like, why would you need that from me? Like, I do merch, so I do Floyd Mayweather's merch, like the TMT shit, and I'm like, yo, bro, you could have went anywhere in the world, but you decided to come to me and my partner that's involved with the company, and it's just like, it's just crazy, like, because with that came Dave Chappelle, came like Kanye West is on the way. Like, it's just crazy, bro. Like, how small a lot of these communities really are.
Did you guys see, since we're talking where sports and finance collide today, did you guys see Saquon Barkley's big Twitter thread about Bitcoin and generational wealth?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's pretty interesting. So Saquon Barkley, if anybody's unfamiliar, is a running back for the Giants. And he says, I want my career earnings to last generations. The average NFL career is 3 years, and inflation is real. Saving and preserving money over time is hard, no matter who you are. In today's world, how do we save? This is why I believe in coin. This is why I believe in, he puts hashtag Bitcoin, almost all professional athletes make. So I think he's trying to make way for Bitcoin as a salary, which I know
He
more.
said that?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
He actually had a whole Twitter thread, I believe, about it. And I think he is probably a representative of a new era of professional athlete that may even want to get paid in crypto rather than just fiat. Because for one thing, it's incredibly deflationary. Or, you know, if you've got all the inflation happening with your fiat, then you want something to maybe protect your investment a little bit better. I don't know. I'm hoping this new era of athletes just knows how to manage money well. And I think DeFi will probably help with that.
Don't a couple of them already get paid in crypto, like Bitcoin?
Yeah, there's a couple. I know Tom Brady. I know Trevor
Russell.
Lawrence for the Jaguars. Who else? Y'all can name any more right now? I know those
Yeah,
two
Russell.
the
specifically.
wide receiver that used to play for the Giants. I think he's on the Browns now. If I'm not mistaken. I can't remember this dude's name. Yeah, him. Odell Beckham.
Uh,
I actually have a friend that's starting a clothing company, and he wants to. He's been asking me questions like, what type of utility should he have in his clothing company that's supporting cryptocurrencies? And I was trying to tell him. I was asking people like, what are y'all ideas of what type of utility? Because he wants to. Let me pause for a second. He wants to allow all his purchases through the clothing company to be through cryptocurrencies. So what type of utility do you think he should have when it comes to like his clothing company?
to allow people to buy with crypto? Is that what you're asking?
Say that again.
You're asking what utility should he use to allow people to buy his product with crypto?
Basically.
I mean, there's a few different options. There's something called BitPay. I don't know. I've never used it. Don't know if it's good. There's another one that I've actually done a lot of AMAs with, of a group called FCF. They're just about to come out of beta to where they want to get where you can use any crypto to buy anything. Once you have it, it'll almost be like WooCommerce or something like that on a web page, on a WordPress page. But yeah, he's gonna have to do some research because, like I said, I'm not a subject matter expert on it. But I think that'll be the next big thing, is to where merch and things like that is all bought with crypto.
Like, I would love to go into a restaurant and be like, all right, cool, I can use Ethereum. Let's go. Let's get it.
I don't know about Ethereum for my Taco Bell. in their tax. But
Nah, but you know what I'm saying? Like a crypto, regardless Dogecoin, if you want to say like anything, like it'd be
Preferably
cool.
Dogecoin.
yeah,
Preferably Dogecoin.
yeah, give me something with low tax on it. But I hear what you're saying, Crypt Keeper. I hear what you're saying. Whenever I go to Taco Bell, yeah, I want to pay in BNB or something that can be rather cheap. And I really do think that's the future. And getting into another regulatory conversation, I think this is terrifying to the government, right? Because right now you can have all this crypto that you've made, and many people aren't reporting it, right or wrong, not reporting it, and there's not much they can do with it. There's not a big off ramp, but if you can start spending it in places like this, then it's all of a sudden you don't need an off ramp anymore, and it takes the dollar out of the equation. And I think that is terrifying to regulators. Terrifying.
Scary.
Yeah, because then you wouldn't have to drop it and swap it for fiat. It would just stay.
Correct. Now, we talked before. We don't know if that's a good thing necessarily, because if they can't regulate it, they just ban it. And maybe we want it to have regulations on some standard. But everybody said, well, I just want to have to pay whenever I convert to fiat. But is that where the space is heading? The space might be heading to where fiat isn't part of the equation anymore. You go to Taco Bell, you go over to Gucci, you buy both of those two things. Boy, I picked two on the different ends of the spectrum, didn't I? You pick both of those things, and you might be able to buy them with crypto, and your money may not even be part of it.
Yeah, I think we're headed that way for sure, because Visa is like a big leader for that as well. And you take companies like crypto.com, Gemini and stuff where, you can just use the card, and then it kind of at that point it still kind of swaps, but they have the right idea. And then as far as luxury brands, like when you brought up Gucci, Philip Plein, he's like a big luxury brand, and he's the first one to accept crypto for any of his merchandise.
I think that'll put him back on the map, because he kind of dropped down a little. But I think once he starts using that, it's gonna bring him right back up. Like,
yeah, I think at first, I think you'll see like experimentation with different merchants, and it'll be maybe smaller merchants at first. I got excited whenever the Staples Center became crypto.com, because first of all, just the name, it's just so great there. But I really want a major organization like the Lakers, like the Clippers, to be able to work on, things like that, like merch being bought with crypto, maybe with Crow in that case. It only makes sense.
So my friend, I didn't know he was coming up here. I guess y'all added him. It's Devin. So he came to me asking like, what cryptos do you think would be a great choice? And I'm glad you brought it up, TRADERVERSE. Like Ethereum and Bitcoin, the gas fees would be crazy if you use those. So like outside of Doge, what do y'all think?
Matic, maybe?
yeah, Matic I heard is pretty decent.
I mean, Matic's going to have low fees, a little more centralized, but BNB, the Binance chain, has pretty low fees. And then somebody mentioned Doge earlier. I mean, all of these, Solana, right? Sol might be good for this. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Right? I feel like we're forgetting one, maybe two. But those are some good starts, though.
Shiba would probably be one that people want to bring up.
I actually bought the sheet, but don't tell anybody because I'm a Doge fanatic.
Secret safe here, man.
Christy. But don't tell anybody that, though.
Keep that on the
You bought the other dog?
Yes, you hear that from me. This is
confidential. All right, cool.
This is
guys, I dabble in coins, and I've got so many dog-oriented coins that aren't worth a whole lot. Yeah, to the moon with dog coins. But yeah, I do. Whatever starts being adopted, it's going to be adopted in what we might call our alt majors, like Doge, like SHIB. One of these type of things. It'll be the alt majors that first get in. And maybe the only ones that ever get in and are thought of as the currency that you use to buy your Laker tickets, your whatever tickets. There's gonna be kind of a watershed moment, and maybe then the competition will make it to where one of those altcoin currencies is a little more mainstream. Then if you can use Doge to buy a Tesla, that certainly gives a lot more credence to that as a currency.
Oh, it's going to happen.
I got a question for you guys, right? So we use Ethereum our purchases through MetaMask. What made them want to pick Ethereum rather than any other currency?
For what? For just NFT projects in
Yeah,
general?
yeah.
To me, it just had the backbone. Ethereum was the smart contract chain at first, right? And then you had the gas problems, and you have other chains that are like, okay, we can do kind of a layer 2 solution. We can do the same thing you're doing, but cheaper. But whenever finally the NFT marketplace kind of started becoming born, you go to where the most people are and the most of the money is. And since Ethereum is so, it's been around, it's established. To me, that's why it went with Ethereum so strongly. Now, I think if Ethereum 2.0 can't happen and we can't get the gas fee thing taken care of, right now everybody's real patient. But my own personal at Voice of DeFi's thought is that eventually these lower gas chains will become more prevalent if Ethereum can't take care of it, because eventually people will just say, I'm sick and tired of minting at $200 a piece for gas.
Exactly. That is annoying.
Bro, even to sell sometimes on WETH, whatever the hell it's called, it's like $300, bro. Like you taking a like 2% of my money that I'm trying to make.
Well, I've seen, Crypt Keeper, you and I will talk offline and stuff, and I've seen sometimes you guys will put out something about, oh, I bought this for 0.05, and I doubled, and I'm at 0.1, and I'm always like, ugh, after gas, I don't know that it's doing so well. It's almost a break-even proposition sometimes, and I do think a lot of newbie traders don't take that into account of how much the whole transaction. It's like buying something as seen on TV, but not paying attention to the $25 shipping and handling fee.
Bro, right?
That's why when I sell something, I'll be like, all right, cool. I got to add on these gas fees. That's probably an extra $300. And then I got to just put on my little fee, which is an extra, whatever, $500-$600. So I'm like, all right, cool. Somebody buys it, they buy it. If not, then.
And the royalty fees.
Yeah, like, bro, we getting taxed all over the place.
So what's the gas fees for Solana?
I don't think they have any, right?
Oh, they do. It's not a gasless. If you're looking for a gasless chain, okay, now Tim, you're making me think of the other chains. Wax is another chain, and I believe they claim to be gasless. Whenever I got my Spider-Man NFT for going to see Spider-Man, it was on the Wax chain, and I didn't pay anything for gas for it. So,
How about Tezos?
Ooh, there's a good one too. Well, we're gonna
Was
come
that
up
TEZZO?
just one.
TEZOS?
Yeah, TEZOS. Yeah.
How about the platform that the Damien Hirst project minted on?
What platform did they mint on?
I don't know. That's what I don't know. I don't exactly know, but I know. Is it Nifty they minted on? Like I don't remember which platform, but I know. Supposedly, I don't think the gas fees was, if they had any, was crazy, because my friend minted a couple of them, but he didn't talk to me about how much the gas fees were. But I'm gonna have to look into that.
Here's the thing, though. If you're making an NFT project right now, and you know that, like, if I go on ETH, my customers are going to have to pay, crazy gas fees. But you also know that, like, look at the customer base for each of the chains, right? I've got Solana, I've got Tezos, and I've got Ethereum. Ethereum's just, that's where all the people are. And you almost think, like, if I don't go there, I'm not going to be able to reach the other people. Scrupula, you got your hands up. What's up?
Yeah, sorry, I'm at a shitty Wi-Fi area, so you may not be able to understand too much of what's going on and what I'm going to say. But as a little caveat side to that, let's be real. A lot of it is shitty devs. Like we've spoken about before. I brought Keaton into the awareness of what Nuclear Nerds did, and we went through the contract. And if you layer it correctly, there's no reason why gas should ever be over $50 to mint anything. So the fact that some of these projects are coming out with gas super high is only really because these devs that are creating the contracts aren't taking the extra time to layer their contract to make it easy for it to run through the actual Etherscan system for efficiency to reduce that gas. Like G-Way could be up to like 1,500, but the contract can still mint out for $40. It doesn't matter. So that's just the unfortunate part. It's just shitty devs. If I
Do you
want to
think
call
it's
it
a
what it is.
contract issue? It's an overly complicated contract that results in high gas.
It's not even overly complicated. Like to do what some of these contracts are doing with the layering, it's not complicated at all. It's just laziness by developers.
Interesting. I could definitely say that's the case. So I spend a lot of time in BSC, and I've seen, they're obviously high gas fees is nothing compared to ETH, but I've seen some contracts that are put together very odd. This is somebody like Keaton telling me, not because I know, but it results in high gas fees because of that. So I'm sure the same thing happens in Ethereum, and I'm sure, like you said, if it's well maintained and well controlled, it can keep the gas. What'd you say, $50 or so?
Yeah, like I was able to mint the Nuclear Nerds for 0.008 total for everything.
That's incredible, actually.
And that's and at that point, gas was like 280 G-way. So it really goes on to how the contract is developed, not anything else. And if they want to make it a lazy contract to run straight through Etherscan, then it's going to go with whatever gas is at the time. But you can ping it differently.
I feel like I'm going all my life saying something wrong. Is it pronounced G-way, or is that a Scrupula thing?
I don't know. I just look at it like, let me go
Iwi.
on phonics here and say G-way,
I say
G-way.
I say Gway. Gway.
Iwi.
Jeez. I'm like Gway, like Gwen, like Gwen Bonnie, like Gway. That's how I say it. Now, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's how I'm saying.
I call it highway robbery if you really want to talk about it.
Well, I know each of the, we should talk about that at some time on one of our Traderverse talks here about the different units. In Bitcoin, it's a sat, right? And then there's like microsats and, all these different types of terms that you can get. And then in Ethereum, there's Gwei, G-Way, whatever you want to call it. There's, and I know they name all the different little decimal places for the chains. I'm sure Matic, and I don't know, somebody give me a Dogecoin person in here. What is their decimal? What's the smallest unit of a Doge you can
Isn't that the tip of the tail?
One Doge. One Doge
Ew.
equals one Doge.
One Doge equals one Doge. Did you say Doge? Did anybody say Doge?
It's Doge.
Somebody said Doge. Doge.
What's up, Tim? How you doing, buddy?
What's up? What's up, Unc?
Christine, how you doing, sweetheart? What y'all talking about?
Doge. No, I'm just playing.
No, I hear that one Doge is one Doge. I get that. But if I have 0.00025 Doges, what is that called?
It's dough.
Isn't that Doge dust?
Dogs.
Yes. Yeah.
Paws?
It's basically dust.
Dander?
Tails?
Little bit of Doge dander?
He said doggy dander.
Yeah. I'm like, I've got so little Doge. I've just got dander left in my wallet. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, you're not buying small increments of Doge like you can Satoshis.
No, you're right. And that gets to be like, that's another thing that I think stops the space right now for Bitcoin. So a lot of the new people come in and be like, oh, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. And then they see, oh, if I get $1,000 of Bitcoin, I don't get one Bitcoin. I get 0.0001, however much. And I think
education, though, if you educate them and understand and tell them to get their frame of mind around what is their gain percentage, not the dollar amount. How much gains are you making on that? I mean, you could put 1,000 into Doge and 1,000 into Bitcoin. You can earn and not own a full Bitcoin, but you could earn more money on Bitcoin, depending on how much gain you make in a percentage rate.
Well, yeah, and that gets into financial literacy then, as far as like, this is what percentage gain you could get. This, quit. Here's the thing I think there's a big thing.
People want to own one full thing.
They want to own, there's unit bias. That's absolutely correct. But then they're so stuck in everything in terms of dollars. If I ever get in a crypto conversation and I'll tell them something and I'm talking in terms of ETH or Bitcoin or Doge or whatever, they'll be like, okay, how much is that in dollars? And I'm like, I don't care.
That's so true.
True. Just talk in numbers of these currencies for me.
Bro, no lie, I haven't even spoken dollar amounts in probably over a month. Like, my wife would be like, yo, this is $50. I said, man, what is it in ETH?
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. Like, I was looking the other day, I was like, holy crap, my mortgage is only 0.2.
Oh, Lord.
So I came up, I heard y'all were talking about Ethereum gas issues. Is that right?
We were earlier, yes. What's up?
Oh, all right. If that's off the table, then I'll be quiet.
No, I want to hear what you're going to say.
Oh, so I don't know. Have any of y'all seen the Golden X or the Blimpy contracts?
I have not. I'm not familiar with them.
No.
So what we did, we took the enumerable that everybody used, stripped it down to its barest possible functions. And of course, somebody wants to call me right now. I'll just ignore that. Stripped it down to its barest possible function for like, what is the base that a smart contract needs to be to exist and work? And then made it upgradable. So we can then delegate off to other smart contracts. So the initial mint, there's no junk code. Instead of taking up 4 places on a transaction block, we're only taking up 1. So it takes gas down like 60, 75% per mint. You mint up, you fill out, you sell out, do whatever you're going to do. And then you say, okay, now we need to build staking. So we can build a side contract, put staking on it, delegate control from the main contract to that contract, and then allow people to stake and deep stake within their contract. We want to store coins. Cool. We can set up coins, give control, delegate, and then stake coins on the NFTs. Like, it makes it so minting is nothing. And then we can build out any utility you want. So we feel it's the future, but that's what we're rocking on.
Awesome. I will check that out. I will.
Yeah, the enumerable.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say enumerable aspect is exactly what the Nuclear Ninjas were doing. I don't know. Did you get some of that info from that contract?
Oh, no, we launched this in August of last year. It was just after the Cyber Hornets launched when we found how to bring gas down to almost nothing. If you check out, I think our cheapest to date is Meta Elf Mania. That launched in December. And then this one that we're launching, or that we just launched yesterday for Poodle Dunks, is our completely lowest to date. We're waiting to see. We're getting like $45 when gas was at 230 GUI yesterday. Gas was rocking 360, and I pulled a snapshot of $65 in gas.
That's incredible.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea why more devs don't do that or utilize the enumerable aspect. It's ridiculous. Like I said earlier, it's just all lazy devs.
Yep. You can go on Fiverr. You can pay $600, and you can get somebody to take that old lazy smart contract that has all the utility in the world and screw the markets. Or you can hire a dev that's worth their weight and take it down quickly.
I think more people would buy if these contracts were like that.
Oh, 100%, man. And that's why we're pushing the Blimpy out everywhere. I actually got a ping from Astra down in the audience with one of our Poodle Dunk avatars, and she's like, they're talking about gas. You need to get up here. I'm like, cool, babe, let's go.
Yeah. We've talked about gas off and on in this entire space, but yeah, I'm interested. I'll look for the follow from my personal account, Voice of DeFi, on there. So yeah, that'll be cool. Hey, Turbo, I brought you up here. We're just about to end this space, but I've always had a contribution on here. So what's up?
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? I am Turbo. I am the co-founder of the Nifty Ape Nation. We are all about arming the ape movement with premium animation creation tools. If you get one of our NFTs, it comes with our Fight Club fight game. It's like Street Fighter. We're going to be breaking a world record for players in a game. We're very close, actually. Very excited about this. This means you can own your own video game character, guys. So we also have the metaverse built. If you look in the background of our fight game, you can see the metaverse. And that's where we're going to create e-commerce opportunities for people. And you can sell anything from music albums to tattoos to logo designs as fungible assets. And that's all your money. So we're all about empowering this community, the ape movement, with education, activism. It's about leaving a legacy. And these even have AI brains. It speaks up to 27 different languages. So I'd love everybody to check out Nifty Ape Nation. mint.niftyapenation.com is where you can get your Nifty Ape. In our opinion, this is the most powerful NFT project out there. If you look at any other 3D NFT projects, there's some good ones out there, but they don't quite have the utility. They don't have things quite built. We've made sure to do all that beforehand, and the reason we've been able to do that is because we've been working on this tech for a good 4 or 5 years. So I think you guys will find that this is potentially a blue chip opportunity for people. We've made them available for under 0.1 ETH. So that's incredible value there, and I really invite anybody who is interested to hit us up and ask any questions. And thanks very much.
Thank you, Turbo, for giving us that update. Turbo, we started these TRADERVERSE spaces where, TRADERVERSE is soon to be social media network, soon to be launched social media network. And we started these in early November. And Turbo was one of the first people in there talking about a project. And I always will remember that. So it's really great graphics that they have, really great artwork that they've put together. So definitely do go check it out. You can click on Turbo's PFP there and go into his profile and check out some of the artwork, because it's pretty amazing. And definitely what they're building. Here's what I like, that he's came back here a couple months later and said, hey, we're still building stuff. Okay, this isn't something where we just minted and walked away. These guys are still at their project, and for that I respect, because you don't see that. There's how many projects have you guys seen minted that mint and they clock out? They're done after the mint, and that's not the case with the Nifty Ape Nation. So I appreciate that. All right, guys, we have came here to the end of this Alpha Hour. That's a great point. I appreciate you, everyone, contributing. Anybody that talked about gas fee or sports, and let me do a little muting here. Any sports or anything like that we talked about today, I always enjoy talking about how that intersects with DeFi and finances and a stock world as well. And I love talking about that with each and every one of you. Tomorrow, we will be over not on Spaces, but on Telegram. So go into the TRADERVERSE website, find their Telegram link, join in there, and at 17:30 UTC, same time this one started, I'll be speaking over there, giving kind of a community update on where Traderverse is, and just talk about just various other news stories from the day. So join me over there on our Telegram chat tomorrow, Thursday at 17:30 UTC. Until I speak to you then, I am Voice of DeFi. With me is Christine Barnum. Thank you to all the other speakers that came up here as well. Peace.
Thanks for having it.
Thanks.
Thanks very much.